Right then, welcome to Ryan's Road, number 13? I think we're on 13. I should really know, shouldn't I? It's my podcast. I should know what fucking episode I'm on. If you're new to the show, if you're not familiar with Ryan's Road and the corners it has and turn-offs and road markings and signs and all that shit, basically, I like to talk about fucking life, the shit that we go through, different perspectives, how to look out on your life, how to look around you, how you communicate with people, how you deal with the emotions and shit in your head, just fucking life, man, like as a whole, because we all go through life, we all fucking struggle with it at times. No one is ever perfect throughout it. So on this podcast, I like to go through shit I've learned over my years so far, things I've come to see, experience myself, and I'll wheedle in a bit of my own personal anecdotes as well. So that's the fucking podcast. There you go, if you don't like the sound of it. But then I'm deeply, deeply hurt. For those of you that are familiar with the podcast, we're going to stick to true Ryan's Road fashion and we're going to wing it. I think having super planned podcasts are going to come fucking later down the line, like if this becomes successful or the YouTube stuff does and I get more time. But with the way my life is, with being self-employed tradesman and helping the wife as well and looking after my 5-year-old, my 4-year-old and my 2-year-old, you know, it's a lot. So yeah, this is the best you're going to get. But as always, as I've touched on before, I've got themes. And one of the things I want to touch on today, that it's kind of really stood out to me across the weekend and this morning. This is from like a working out angle, kind of. But I got to thinking, why the fuck do we treat weekends like weekends? Sounds daft, I know. Like most people, why do we have a weekend if it's a weekday? Like if animals could fucking talk, and you said today's a Monday or Saturday or whatever, they go, we're on about the sun's up and then it's down. What's the fucking difference? Like, shut the fuck up, man. Just get on with your day. And this occurred to me because in the week I get up around 5:30 to get outside for 6 to do my workout for an hour, do a bit of cardio, then my strength workout. And then, you know, I'm on it with the kids and whatnot, and school and nursery, and then all my work and jobs and quotes and everything else, and taking my kids fight club in the evening and me fight club, blah, blah, blah. So I'm active, right? And my worst part of the week, no shit, is the fucking weekend. Like, I feel like crap, like lately, like really fucking sluggish, and like I've got less patience. I'm not feeling like on it sort of thing. I'm not feeling like I'm making decisions good. I'm just doing the like avoidance that you get when you're just like, oh, this can't be fucking arsed, man. I don't like, do we have to do that? Like when it comes to do anything, we're like, you know, shit you got to do. It's like, oh, I don't want to do it. I can't be arsed. You know, Kevin and Perry. And then when it's with the kids, I'm like, oh, I couldn't just play with that, man. Like, can't be arsed. And it's fucking hard. And at first I thought it was just like, it really fucked up a bit the previous weekend. I thought that was down, Jesus Christ, down to the week of that weekend. I'd slipped back on my sugar and I hadn't worked out for a week, so I'd been generally ill anyway. So I thought it was that. This week just gone, I got my workout in every day like normal, and I'd laid off me sugary treats and stuff. I was right Saturday morning, but the afternoon and Sunday felt like shit. And I'm like, so looking at just as days, not days of the week, not with just sun down, sun up. On the days I feel good, they're the days I get off my fucking arse early and I do a workout and then I'm getting on with my day, and those days I can keep on top of it with the kids and what they need to do, what I need to do, my work and my business and quotes and everything, and the wife and she okay, and I can handle stuff. So I'm like, and for some reason my brain says, well, you've been doing that all week, so weekend you have a little bit of a lie because you rest because your body needs it, in air quotes. I'm like, that's what you tell yourself, don't you? You tell yourself that on a weekend, because it's a weekend, because it's a thing, isn't it? A weekend is the end of a week, and you've had a hard week, so you rest on the weekend. But the weekend isn't a weekend, and a week isn't a week. They're all just fucking days. Like, if you take that time frame away, and they didn't exist, and it was just you wake up when the sun, you just awake during the day and sleep at night, and that was just it. And yeah, maybe, I don't know, maybe if you wanted to count days, whatever, so on day 1 fucking million or whatever, like you wouldn't be inclined to think, oh no, I'm going to do that because it's a weekend. Like, fuck off. And by the way, when I say lying, I mean like 7:30, 8 o'clock. I've got kids, so I'm like, right, next weekend I'm fucking getting up. I'm going to probably get up at 6 instead of 5:30 to be outside for no later than 6, and I'm just going to do 20 minutes to half hour just fucking cardio. I won't do the strength training because it'll fuck up my strength workouts during the week. But like, man, you can do cardio as much as you fucking want. So I was going to smash a cardio workout, jump on the fucking spin bike or run around the estate or jump up and down and do some fucking jumping jacks and shit. I was going to smash out, get my heart rate up, hit fucking cardio, get it above like 140 beats per minute. And I reckon that's just going to fix my fucking weekends, because it normally does when I do cardio. And I'm just going to treat my weekends like a normal fucking day. But like I say, it's that kind of mindset of like, why, like if you kind of step back and just think of like, why do we like give this weekend thing like a value, like it's a thing? Proper honestly, Saturday and Sunday, you almost write them off, don't you? You're just like, oh no, I've got to like take it easy because it's a weekend, because I've got to work all week. So yeah, that's kind of like, I wanted to touch on that, and I want my mind, that's especially one of these things that I won't mind getting some thoughts on. Like, so if you're kind of relating to what I'm saying, or I'm hitting a spot, or I'm making you think or wonder about it, drop me a comment. If you're watching on YouTube, on the video, if you're just listening to the podcast, you can get me on RyansPodcast@gmail.com, or my socials, Facebook, Instagram, Ryans.road. I always get these two mixed up. Ryans.road on Instagram and RyansRoad22 on Facebook. Drop me a comment, drop me a message, man. Just tell me what your opinion is on that and how you feel about weekends. How do you kind of do yourself have to feel like, oh no, I've got to rest on a weekend? Do you get that as well? Let me know in the comments, as they say. Apologies to the ones just listening that aren't watching the YouTube. So yeah, that was a little point I wanted to jump on. Another thing, it's a bit deeper, is why, like this interest, like history and stuff and family, why do we get like stuck in our ways? Why the fuck don't we question everything? Like, why do we feel like that's the best? Not as a human race, because obviously things wouldn't move forward if nobody did. But for the majority, most people tend to be like, oh, if you're doing something, I know I'm really jumping here, like I'm trying to form a full sentence. I'm trying to think of a good example. Like, buttering some fucking toast, I don't know. And then you're doing it how your parents showed you. Don't focus on the toast, okay? Just the concept of generally, like, you've been shown a way of doing something from father, mother, friend, to someone previous to you, and then that's how you've learnt to do it. Why do we always be like, okay, that's how we do it? Why don't we question, like, well, is there a better way? Like, I just ponder, like, as a whole, as like the world, as time's gone on, how much stuff do you reckon we're actually stuck on because we haven't even bothered to think, is there another fucking way? Like, don't get stuck. Don't know anything you think you know about fucking anything, even if it's something that you feel you are like an expert at. Never feel like you can't learn more. If someone's trying to tell you something about that thing that you think you know everything about, don't fucking shut them down. Have a listen. Because you might find that there's a better way of doing it, or a different way of doing it. I'm sure it's one of Jordan Peterson's rules, actually. I've mentioned Jordan Peterson before. If you haven't checked him out, I suggest you do. His book, 12 Rules for Life, is fucking great. And then any podcast he's been on, also amazing. But I'm pretty sure the way he words it in the rule is, Oh. I'm going to pause. I'm going to find the actual rule for you. Because I've got the audiobook on my phone. Sorry about that. So, rule number 9. Assume that the person you are listening to might know something you don't. It's interesting, isn't it? I was pondering, going through that, because I've listened to it a few times, 12 Rules for Life. I was contemplating going through the 12 rules and doing a podcast per rule and kind of like briefly ripping through what he goes through. But yeah, I really like that concept of just that whole thing. Yeah, just assume that the person you're talking to knows something you fucking don't. Same thing, just fucking question yourself, like, do I know the perfect way of doing this? Am I entirely fucking sure that I'm fucking right? I've seen too many people where they're like, you try and talk to them, like, yeah. Because like, I know, yeah. Like, I don't need to listen to you. It's like, just fucking listen, man. If I fucking talk, and then you want to completely shut me down after, then fine. But fucking listen first, because you might fucking learn something. I fucking do it, mate. If someone's talking, I listen. Listening is like the best fucking thing in this world you can learn to do. It's amazing, because there's so many people that have been fucking alive, right? So many people that have been alive, and then so many families, and then that's all come down, and information and shit, and everyone's had different life experiences, slightly different. Them I've had more siblings or less siblings, or a different kind of mother, different kind of father, raised by the grandparents, lived in this kind of a situation, did this place, or went to that school, or did this kind of line of work, or this job, or achieved this. Like, everyone's fucking different. So it's like, if you can listen to as many different people as you can, you're going to become even more fucking well-rounded. You're going to become wiser, ain't you? Because you can vicariously take on that knowledge. It's only the same as if you have a college course or a university course, and then you go and sit down and listen to a professor teacher, because they were taught that information from someone, and then now they're just in a room talking to you about it. It's just information, isn't it? Information transference. Like, whether it be some professor in a fucking university, or whether it be that guy that's partially drunk down the fucking pub, it don't matter. If they've got information that they can give you, fucking, mate, sponge, just take it in, bathe in it. Fucking, it's invaluable. Information is. So just fucking listen to people, even if you feel like they're not the most reliable of source. Hence why I said half drunk at a bar. It doesn't have to be someone that you feel is academic or done better than you. Like, you can learn from people's examples even when they've failed or done badly, and you can see and hear their story about why they've done that and they didn't come out right. So it's like, right, okay, you could be aware, like, that situation, this could happen, and it could help yourself. So yeah, with that one, don't be a stubborn dick. Just listen to people when they talk, assume that they know something you fucking don't, and just question fucking everything. Even to a point of, like, from a tradesman point of view. I've had this with custom, because I'm an electrician, and an example of someone being quoted £1,500, 1,500 for a fuse board change. I charge a lot less, so I asked the customer to show me the quote, and basically the guy had quoted for a load of shit that she didn't need. It was like extras, like, she could have had that, but didn't need to. Had she not questioned it, she'd ended up paying that fucker. I charge a third of that for a board. It's nuts. So anything you get told, question. You don't have to be a cunt about it. You'll be like, well, I don't fucking trust you. Just be like, I'm just going to double check, just in case there's another way. You know, that's the other side of it. Because there could be another way of doing it you're not aware of. It's interesting shit. I think the last point I want to jump onto, I'm really just like jumping points this fucking week, and this is what happens when I wing it proper. It's the whole human nature-y thing. It's what I've been listening to a podcast this week. What the fuck's his name? Lex Friedman, I believe. I think he's got his own podcast, and I've been listening to him on being on Joe Rogan, and he handles all the like AI stuff. Like he builds algorithms and things. I think he's trying to design cars. to do with AI. I'll jump over that. But I get interested in it in terms of like the social media algorithms, about like the shit you get shown. So if you've not watched The Social Dilemma on Netflix, I really recommend that. That's insightful. Because basically all this shit, when you think that on your Facebook page or something you see negative shit all the time, it's because you interact with it, right? So any social media, Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, any of it, it wants to show you the shit that's going to keep you on the screen, because the longer you're on the screen, the more ads you could possibly interact with. So the more you're likely to spend money, basically. So the more ads that can be interacted, the more money they're going to make. So it's all fucking money orientated. So if you're on your social platform and like, it doesn't just notice what you like or what you watch, it notices how quick you scroll. When you pause, if you're scrolling and you pause and look, so you've not actually interacted with the photo or post like directly, you've not commented or liked it or even pressed the photo and zoomed in and looked at it, it does all that as well, but it would do it as little as if you're scrolling and you scroll slower over something. It will make a note of that because it's trying to get any fucking cue or any clue even as to how you operate, to what you like, so that it can show you more of that to keep you on the screen. So it's really fucking dangerous, because if you've gone on a couple posts about, I don't know, what was it not too long ago, the Black Lives Matter thing, or I know something to do with Trump, any of that shit, I don't know, if you went on a couple posts and read some comments on it or whatever, the algorithm will then pick up like, oh, they like reading that shit, let's show them more of that shit. So then you see it more, so then you click on more of it and you see where I'm getting. It just fucking goes off and you see more and more of the negative shit. And for some reason that tends to be how things go. Like, I officially feel like I've made it now because I've got a fucking thumbs down on one of my videos. It's like I've got to be getting somewhere for someone to go out their way to put something fucking bad about me. But that seems to be the curve, doesn't it, in terms of like comments and posts and stuff. Like, we're a lot, I don't know why, but we're a lot more naturally likely to say the bad shit. Like, if you've had a really shit day at work, you're more than likely to go and post something about, well, today can fuck off. And then, someone might comment and you have a good whinge about it, as opposed to posting saying, oh, today's been a really nice day. It's been lovely. Like, I notice it not in a bad way and not in a begrudging way, but I even noticed, like, with my podcast and my YouTube stuff, like, I've got loads of people on my fucking Facebook, people that I talk to, and I'll comment and shit, and like, if I see them in person, like, we're lovely to each other, and we'll genuinely ask like how we're getting on with family and life and how things are going and everything else. Like, and I've even got literal family on my fucking Facebook, but I get little to no interaction with my podcast and my YouTube stuff. Like, you think the people that were there and I know would want to support and be like, every time I share a post, they'll share it and really push and help, because I'm doing this to help people. Like, I want people to be able to listen to this podcast and feel better, have a different perspective like the next day, and think a little bit differently in some way that will better their lives. And that's what my YouTube channel for my fitness is for, to show people how to maintain their physical health, which has a big impact on their mental health. Like, I'm trying to be good and trying to help. Like, I'm not even just doing some really like selfish thing, which would be fine if I was. If you've got a channel about fucking, we'll say scale electric cars, because I've got a set behind the camera, and I was like, I just got a YouTube channel about scale electric cars and how to make them go faster and all that sort of shit, or model cars, just something like that. They like it. Like, it'd still be nice to share their content, because it might reach other people that share that interest. But for some reason no one does. Like I say, not begrudging, I'm not like that. I'm not here to moan. I really like, again, this is kind of what led to me starting a podcast series, because I get really interested in the why, like why people do what, why they do what they do and why they don't do what they don't. So I kind of look at that and go, that's interesting. Like, I wonder why they don't share my stuff and why not. Like, not even my stuff. Like, I know people that I'll bump into, and I'll mention like Joe Rogan's podcast. You know, one of the biggest. It's the biggest podcast. And I'll say talk to a friend, and it'll turn out they listen to it as well. And I'm like, oh, have you listened to this episode? So it's like, yeah, and whatnot. And you go, I've never seen anyone share anything about that. So it's just that general thing. It's just the support network for everything in general. People don't seem to go out their way to push the nice stuff, but they'll be more than happy to share that post about, oh, that fucking guy that's been a cunt, or that bad thing that's happened, or that other negative thing, and that other just negative and bad shit seems to spread like fire. But the whole positive thing, there is a movement for it. You know, there are people in general, like in the world, you know, some people do, basically. Some people do. You're going to get that minority, ain't you? But I'm just saying, the majority don't. Like, again, comments, especially if anyone's like is kind of famous in air quotes, you'll always see the cunts comment all the nasty shit, and you're like, why? Some of it, when they go out their way to be mean directly to other people, 9 times out of 10 that's just because they're not happy with their life, or they're jealous sort of thing. They're not happy seeing someone else be successful and whatnot. Because obviously you're looking at them and thinking, you're getting that, oh, like, I don't like my life, and I don't feel like I can go anywhere, and I wish I could do this and do that. So when you see someone else like pushing it and doing well, you're kind of like, fuck you, man. Like, you ain't gonna make it. I haven't hit that stage yet. I'm waiting for it. That'd be cool. So yeah, there are a couple little things there for you to ponder on and think on. Always suggestions. Again, I already said RyansPodcast@gmail.com. If there's any kind of perspective that you've got that you want me to touch on or want me to think about, mate, fucking more than happy to. That'd be cool. Loving that. I'm still trying to sort out my analytics for Apple, because it says my majority of my listeners are on Apple, but I don't know how many. In a way, I'm not too bothered. I like the mystery of, like, it could be 8, it could be 8,000, but I doubt it. It's probably more like 2. But yeah, I'm kind of playing with that. I will have to touch on a bit more, like I always do at the end of the Z podcast, about the physical fucking health side of shit. I know I kind of half mentioned it at the start with my personal thing. But yeah, pretty much did, didn't I? Ryan's Road Fitness. Now, this week has seen the first upload of my jiu-jitsu vlogs. It's actually a grappling one, which is basically Brazilian jiu-jitsu, but without the gi on. So it's just like shorts and t-shirts sort of thing. I like that with the combat side of things, because it's realism for life, and it's very humbling. You know what I mean? I like it because in the moment you're not thinking about everything else. You're trying not to get choked out. You're trying not to lose. I always say it's the closest thing you get to a nice scrap without getting punched and kicked. It's great. Love it. Check out the new vlog for that. I know that not everyone's going to be starting doing martial arts, even though I really think you should. I might touch on that a bit more, actually. I was thinking this the other day in regards to the martial arts training and fitness in general, like the exercising. As you all know, if you follow the podcast, I use calisthenics, aka bodyweight training, which is going well, by the way, again, if you see the vlogs. I'm going to start doing some more tutorials again soon on the fitness channel. But basically, it's kind of like one of the whys of doing it. And I just had this feeling of, what if we were out somewhere, me and the family, and for some reason we lost sight of my youngest, my 2-year-old, and he wouldn't, but let's say he was on the edge of a path about to cross the road and there's a car coming, and I had to run to grab him, but I didn't get there in time and he got hit by a car. Imagine that. Now imagine if I hadn't done any exercise ever and I wasn't maintaining my physical health. After that moment, I would blame myself. I'd be like, I weren't prepared like I should have been. On the smaller scale, now I'm like, because I'm letting my cardio slip a bit. I'm like, what if that results in, like, this is an extreme, but it could happen. What if the result of my lack of physical ability results in the death of someone I love or care about? Can you imagine that? It's another reason that's helping me get up in the morning. And same again with like the martial arts side of things, like, because it helps you be calm and more analytical and to make better decisions, and you just makes you more familiar with fucking grabbing people, man, and being grabbed yourself, you know what I mean? Just fucking get it, cunt, bang. So again, if I get into a situation where I need to defend my family or myself, again, I wouldn't want the outcome to be bad because of my lack of training. I effectively want to be fucking ready. I want my exercise and my martial arts training to have me fucking ready for life. So should anything ever fucking come along, the anecdote will be, this fucking happened and I squashed it, rather than this fucking happened and it resulted in a tragic result and it's ruined my fucking life now because I can't get past that. If that's not motivation enough for you, I don't know what the fuck else is going to get you to get off your ass and do something. But as I always say with the exercise stuff, mornings are the best. I really do, because if you don't convince yourself to do it in the morning, you ain't going to convince yourself to do it at the end of the fucking day, because you don't know the fucking day then. But if you can get up in the morning and just move and do something for 10 minutes and just make a start, change your fucking life. Patent pending. Change your fucking life. 10-minute cardio, change your fucking life. Really recommend it. We're going to leave it there. I love you. Thanks for listening. I'll catch you next week. Oh, viewers, be sure to subscribe and like and all that wonderful bell stuff and whatnot. I'm really not fluent with all that crap yet, am I? Right, like I say, love you. I'll see you next week. Don't be afraid of the day. Deal with the day. I'm out.